Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Take 2, because previous time I was trying to cast this, the game crashed, but I wasn't too far in. Spawn bottom left side as the yellow English, we have Dyukusi Twitch. Spawn top right side as the blue Delhi Sultanate, we have Elyona. Since it's more or less Take 2, I'm fast forwarding a little bit because I've already seen all this stuff and I don't really want to start completely over. Got quite a bit of deer and berries up here for blue, while all this gold spawned down south. Berries and deer a little bit far forward, a little bit more exposed. Same with the English deer deposit. Down south has a bit of boar, gold, and stone, but there's a lot more stone and gold up here with a deer deposit as well. So we may see a better expansion direction leftwards for yellow, better expansion direction for rightwards for the Delhi Sultanate. We do have farms now going up nice and early. Got Abbey Kings and Tower of Victory. Delhi Sultanate can get some very nice man-at-arms. And overall, I think overall, Delhi Sultanate, if built right, with the House of Learning plus 3 damage, I think Delhi Sultanate man-at-arms with the House of Learning plus 3 damage and the Tower of Victory, I think they are superior to English man-at-arms with armor clad. And with the network castles, network citadel, well, definitely better with network castles. I don't know who will win now between network citadels or Tower of Victory with a plus extra damage overall. But either way, Delhi Sultanate man-at-arms can be very nice. We do now have a Ghazi Raider on the field. King's now being pulled on the field, and this Ghazi Raider is pushing forward. He may be on just a handful of Ghazi Raiders just to counter the king, hunt him down. And Blue Scout is moving around. That's roughly where my game crashed. Not my game crashed, but actually my graphics driver crashed. In the mini-map, this looks like it's completely not traversable. You can see by the brush down here, but that looks like traversable right here. But maybe not necessarily right there. The king has been found. We've got 3 Ghazi Raiders. That's be more than plenty with the king. The king has incredibly slow attack speed. Even slower than the Ghazi Raiders, who hit harder but slower, or horsemen. They're slightly more expensive, costing what, 240? Or 140, not 240. I've never seen Ghazi Raiders being super effective for the most part. I think if Ghazi Raiders were to receive any sort of buff, maybe a slight discount, maybe a -5, maybe -10 resources. Would it be food or maybe wood? I just feel like they don't perform enough for their price. But they're still a pretty nice horseman variant. I mean, horseman's base damage is what? 9? These guys have 12, so they do have, like you want to say, a 33% attack increase. They have, what, 125, 120 health versus 135, so slight health increase. Of course, they do hit pretty slow as well. Standard Horseman's attack speed is 1.75. These guys hit for 2. They do have a little bit higher multipliers as well. Maybe it's one of those things I need to sit down and do a bit more math. I think these guys are not really worth the cost compared to regular horsemen, if my offhand math is incorrect. So maybe just a discount of 5 resources may make them a little bit better. But that could just me not really looking at them all too well. After all, there's nothing that Delhi Sultanate really improves the Ghazi Raiders. They have no unique research now, do they? And I think elephants are usually the premier cavalry if you want to go for super cavalry play. Now the King's Palace not being put on the field. The English player did not go secondary town center, so this will give him a secondary town center. The Delhi Sultanate player is not aging up anytime soon. Nowhere near enough gold. Halfway enough food. So he needs roughly 600, 400 resources. Maybe eyeing for that now. And remember as well, Ghazi Raiders Delhi Sultanate doesn't really have time attacks, and falling behind attack means the English players are going to have a pretty sizable tech advantage. Granted, Lancers and Crossbows don't require additional tech, other than the age up itself. And spearmen are always decent as a counter unit, but they will fall off quite hard versus the Castle Age Knights. Ivan Delhi Summoner player is going to go for House of Learning since he's going for the Tower of Victory. Though I could be mistaken. The Compound Defender is not bad as well, because getting the earlier access to the Village Fortress research is very nice. One thing you could do is while he's aging up, he can collect up stone, try to get a early keep, not only for defense, but also for the early research. All the 6 sites is claimed up by Blue, so Blue has a nice little economic spike. He does have only slightly less villagers at the moment since the King's Palace only recently deployed on the field. So right now Blue does technically have a superior economy thanks to those sacred sites, each one providing 125 gold, which is effectively 3 villagers times 3, so 9 additional villagers. And Blue has invested quite a bit of army. English player needs to get a small force out of the field to be a counter. Even though these guys do have +2 damage for heavy, it's not really a hard counter, it's more of a soft counter to the heavy units. Things it just gives a little bit extra punch, but not something really should focus. Castle Age now complete for the Delhi Sultanate player. What type of landmark did he go for again? House of Learning, so he will have the very nice man-at-arms. The only problem is as well, I prefer Delhi Sultanate man-at-arms, but if you build them out properly over English man-at-arms, but the English economy is more geared towards man-at-arms production with the absurd improved farming with a little bit extra gold to be mixed on in. This map is very reasonable to secure your trade as well, so you can get extra supplementary gold income as well. Blue has a good field control on the map. He's first going for the Hardy Rations research, so he will get better economy from that. Usually people get the +3 damage first, since it also affects both the man-at-arms and the Lancer. You can get some very nice Lancers as well. When it comes to Lancers and Knights, the Rus may have some of the best Knights when it comes to that. It's just their economy's not really geared towards that, especially with the discounted Streltsy. King is dead. These Knights may be next. Scholar does go down. And if he scouts out his opponent quite well enough, he should know that the English player is not venturing on the map. The Delhi Sultanate player, he always has survival techniques complete, or professional scouts. He could go for a round of scouts and start trying to grab all the deer on the map. That can help him prolong needed the usage of any sort of farms. He has good berries, so that also does help out supplement his food income, which are about equal to deer, honestly. But he could grab this deer. Is very easy to grab, so he can easily grab that deer. This deer is very exposed as well. I do believe the Delhi Sultanate player should eye for a round of scouts. Blue does have a round of farms here. It's very deposit a little too far forward to collect on up, but like I said, you can bring the deer to him. Gonna go for some Lancers now. We got a Spearman, Ghazi Raider, and some Crossbowmen deployed in the field as well. And the Knight is falling back. He's going for some Longbowmen. You know, it's sort of weird. You don't really see Longbowmen too much anymore in the high level play. Most of the time, English players just rely on the Castle Age a bit more. I remember when I first started casting the game, English just relied on Spearman Longbowmen for the longest time, not even really mixing man-arms in Age 2. But now it seems like the English playstyle has been largely either early eco or early castle. But we have a good number of Longbowmen people on the field, somewhat of a refreshing. This opponent is going some Lancers, which of course would be very useful against the Longbowmen. He has also... English could go for a Spearman or his own man-at-arms to help hold the line for the Longbowmen. But he's going for a large number of Longbowmen. It's much like when it comes to Age 4 landmarks, I am a little bit biased with the Wormguard Palace because it has a lot of unique, fun units. But in this map, with how lenient it is, the Berkshire Palace is probably the better option. With Delhi's Sultanate, you can either get a landmark to provide you food or a landmark to provide you gunpowder elephants. Both are very nice to have. And I can never tell you which one's a better option. Gunpowder elephants always just seem like a fun option, as opposed to just getting food income. Food income is food income, which does combo a little bit better with the House of Learning, since you get, of course, additional research. 6 more research does add up to, I forget how much the food is per week. Like 12, right? The king does take a significant amount of damage. The king is dead, along with a knight. There's a lot of units here hitting these English Lancers. And he has good number of Longbowmen. The problem is, he has no blacksmith research to go along with them. So he's able to engage the Spearman quite well, but he has nothing to stop these Gauzy Raiders or Lancers. Yeah, I don't think the Lancer Longbowman transition was a good idea. Of course, they do hit hard, and they're able to put holes in these Gauzy Raiders quite nicely. They only have +1 range armor. +1 range damage on the way for the English player. There's a couple of hardened spearmen deployed for the English player. He's not gotten veteran research just yet for them. And blue does fall back there. The capital provides some good fire support. Plus, men as well, the English capitals do have 2 arrows rather than just 1. Does make a difference, especially versus the heavier units. And right now, blue has a good number of crossbowmen, which ironically right now, not that useful. It's not blowing out a whole large number. Nice. Getting a couple more now. Going for some more hardened spearmen, more veteran longbow. Veteran spearman research on the way. I think he has the +3 damage. Yes, he has +3 damage on his Lancers. And also does, of course, affect the man-at-arms, who also have the increased attack speed. I also have this relatively new research you get from House of Learning. I just don't like the icon. The icon does not match the other icons. Not enough black shading. I think the icon itself is actually too large. And probably does not match the ratios of the other icons. In fact, it seems also pretty small there as well, so maybe trim off the excess see-through of that icon and maybe look a bit better. Great slices there, taking out a good number of villagers. He does not have textiles, which means these guys will 2-shot the villagers without a charge attack. And side note as well, it does do a change weapon action, or whatever this game's version of the change weapon. So it doesn't show the +3 damage from the research, it actually sets the base damage. I know a little bit too much about computers too, how stuff works in that game, and this uses the same engine, so use a change weapon action. And if they were to ever fix this in the system where rather than have this base damage, they could do a change weapon action so it swaps up the weapon, keep the same base damage but also get the +3 damage, and voila. It will show the +3. So I have trouble with these Lancers. He could keep some Spearmen here to help protect them. He could also use Longbowmen to stay nearby and set up some palings. Got good amount of man-at-arms here. He needs more crossbowmen, man-at-arms, and knights. All of them be useful. More Spearmen fortunately for trying to deal with Lancers and Gauzy Raiders. They will have trouble versus these man-at-arms. Crossbowman being focused down by the English Longbowman, very nice. Villagers going down. Blue so far killed 27 villagers. The village count is even. And all the sacred sites still captured by blue. So blue's economy is just superior at the moment. Also even more villagers. He's first on plus some more crossbowing, very good. And he has 3 minutes till victory via Sacred Site. Right now, yellow's army 17 versus 31. The battle is significantly favoring blue. We also got some of these tower elephants. They are armed with bows, which has same bow range but excellent damage of 17. Elephants also have absurdly high range armor, and I believe they're not classified as heavy. Don't see the heavy tag there. So the crossbow will not do bonus damage to them. Spearmen and horsemen will, though. We do now have the Malhaut's research. Will effectively give his elephant same move speed as crossbowmen and man-at-arms, which actually is a very important research. Makes it, I think, just slightly so. I think it puts them all to 1.10 versus 1.12. I think it's 1.125 more precisely. But that increased movement speed makes it so his formations don't move slower. At least the infantry formations. He's first going for a large number of spearmen, longbow. Still has a good number of longbow, going for a large amount of crossbowmen. But the tower elephants, I think, are a very good transition. He sees opponents going for longbowmen and the crossbowmen. So tower elephants will basically be immune to him. 9 range armor. Even the longbowmen's higher damage will just do 1 versus them. So longbowmen not usable. Crossbowmen do hit pretty hard. But right now 14 damage just gets shrunk down to 5, which is still not great, especially when the target has over 600 health. Additionally, he has good number of man-at-arms in the field. Longbow will have a bit of trouble there. Crossbow will still be useful. He's migrating the crossbowmen to allow them to stay alive. So and Long will take the damage. Spearman takes good damage on these tower elephants, but since they can move and shoot like Mag and Die, they are very useful kiting those spearmen. And spearmen are only slightly faster with the Malhaut research. And Yellow's arm is starting to get disintegrated, and Yellow does back the game. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on the next replay.